Welcome back! In this video you are going to learn how to write a formal letter politely in English. Now, what are the situations you might find yourself in where you need to write a formal letter and you want to sound polite? Well, it could be that you are making a request to your course tutor. It could be that you are making a complaint to your bank manager. It could be that you're writing a covering letter to go with your job application. Now, whatever the reason for your letter, the chances are it's an important one, so it's got to be formal. So here is my suggested format for your formal letter writing. You're going to have an opener, and in your opener you're going to address the person who is reading your letter. Now, if you know their name, you're going to say, "Dear Mr," and then their surname if they're a man. You're going to say, "Dear Mrs," and their surname if they're a woman. You're going to say, "Dear Miss," and their surname if they're not married. You're going to say, "Dear Mes," and their surname if you don't know whether they are married or not. Now, if you don't know this person's surname, we're actually going to be even more formal, and we're going to say, "Dear Sir," if they're a man, "Dear Madam," if they're a lady, or "Dear Sir" or "Madam" if we're not sure whether they are a man or a woman that is receiving our letter. Then we're going to have our greeting. Now, how friendly the greeting is depends on how well you know the person. So if you know the person's name, you might say something along the lines of, "I hope you are well." If you don't know the person's name, you might say something along the lines of, "I trust all is well at," and then their company or organisation name. Then you're going to get straight to the main point. It's really important in formal letter writing that we get to the point as quickly as we can. So it might be, "I am writing to inform you." For example, I am writing to inform you that the product I purchased is broken. Or it could be, "Further to our conversation, I am pleased to confirm." For example, "Following our conversation, I am pleased to confirm that you have a place on our course." Or it could be, "I am writing in response to your letter on." So for example, "I am writing in response to your letter on the 1st of June 2017. Then once you've made your main point, you might need to give some more detail, particularly if you're making a complaint or a request. So when you give more detail, it might be, "I would be grateful if you could." So I would be grateful if you could provide me with a refund. That might be a request you make after making your complaint. Then we want a final sentence or paragraph, which could be along the lines of, "If you would like any further information, please let me know." And if you want a reply, it could be, "I look forward to hearing from you," because that signals that you're looking and waiting for a response from that person. Then you want to have something called a complimentary close. A complimentary close is so important for a formal letter because it signals that you are showing some respect and appreciation for the person who has received it. Now, if you don't know the person's name, you're going to write "Yours faithfully." And if you're in America, you might write "Yours truly." And if you do know the person's name, you're going to write "Yours sincerely," and then you're going to sign your name. Now, within this video and in these examples, I've been using some words that help make me sound more polite. For example, I've been using modal verbs. Examples of modal verbs are could, would, and should. Now look at the modal verbs that I have used. For example, "I would be grateful if you could." Okay? "If you would like any further information, please let me know." You will notice that I have used the word "please." The more we use the word "please," especially if we're making a request, the more polite we will be in our letter writing. You'll also notice I've used the word "grateful." So I'm demonstrating that I'm giving thanks, and giving thanks is being polite. Now, there are some words that I have not used in my letter writing. For example, vague words like "nice" and "good." They're not really meaningful enough in the purpose of a formal letter writing situation, so don't put in those words, they are too vague. Other words I've not used are emotive words. Now, what I mean by emotive words are words that are going to convey my emotion in some way. Now, if you're writing a complaint, you might be feeling a bit angry, but you don't want to come across as angry in your formal letter. You want to come across as polite to get the desired outcome. So we're not going to use emotive words like terrible or rubbish to convey our emotion. We're going to keep the emotion out of our formal letter writing. We're also not going to use contractions. Now, what I mean by contractions are words like I'm, it's, can't, where they're two words that have been shortened to form one word. To be very formal, we're going to use the full wording. So we're going to say things like I am, it is, and cannot. And you will notice that I've used these in some of my examples. Here, I am writing to inform you. I am writing in response to your letter. So we are going to make sure we are using the full words in our sentences to make our letter writing really formal and extra polite. So stay tuned for the next video and I will see you soon. Bye for now.